Kimi Antonelli built on the momentum of his earlier sprint win to claim pole position for Sunday's Showcase British Grand Prix. The World Championship leader increased his title lead to 43 points by winning the 17-lap sprint and saw off the challenge from Ferrari, Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton take the fifth career pole of his career by a tenth and three quarters with a lap of a 1:28.1. The Silverstone specialist Hamilton had been beaten Antonelli to the head of the grid in the sprint format on Friday, but had to settle for third in the main race after losing to the battle with his teammate Charles Leclerc. George Russell was a provisional second to Mercedes teammate Antonelli going into the final lap, but was leapfrogged by the Ferraris after failing to improve on his final run, consigning him to fourth. But it could have been far worse for Russell, who ended up enduring a difficult home weekend after he damaged his car after a weird accident in Q1 at Luffield. Russell was able to get back out the gravel and return to the pits for a new front wing, making it for his Q2. Neither Red Bull nor McLaren were factors in the fight for pole, but the former Isaac Hazard produced an impressive showcase, showing to take fifth, 2 places ahead of Max Verstappen. McLaren's world champion Lando Norris was 17th off the pace in 6th, with teammate Oscar Piastri second back in 8th. Arvid Lindblad was again in the top 10 on his home British Grand Prix and levelled up the Racing Bulls qualifying head-to-head for the sprint weekend after outpacing Liam Lawson to take 9th. And he may not have started the sprint weekend as a driver's beat, but an Antonelli pole had looked like the most likely outcome for Saturday afternoon once he conclusively beat Hamilton in the sprint. The Ferrari had still looked quick into the first parts of the main qualifying, but Antonelli moved up to the top of the order in Q2, really up in the ante when he lapped 2 tenths quicker than his rivals on his first lap in Q3. And despite voicing his concern about beating the first car on track in the final attempts rather than the more preferable outcome of towards the end, he effectively settled the pole fight early by improving on his own benchmark by a further 2 tenths. Anthony admitted after with a bit of stress, because I never like going first for the last run, but that was very tidy. I'll be honest, it came together. I was very lucky. It was very tricky with the wind because it was gusty and unpredictable, but we built our way through to qualify on pole was satisfying. Leclerc was also pleased with his result, his second front row start in as many weeks. I'm pleased. It's been a tough few races. The feeling is not quite right where I was struggling, but today I put everything together. On a Sunday we've had things that stopped us scoring points, so to be back with a good feeling. There's been so much work behind the scenes to get the feeling back inside the car, but today was probably the first time where I had it back, so that's a good thing. But at the same time, I don't know how I struggled to be consistent recently, so it's only the beginning, but it's a really good step in the right direction. Hamilton starts third for the second Sunday running and believes Ferrari may have to rely on teamwork to try and topple Antonelli, saying Charles has been making good improvements, but we just didn't have the pace of Mercedes. We're slowly closing the gap to the top, which is great for the team. Whether or not we can keep up with Kimi, we'll see, but hopefully we can play with a strategy and work as a team to topple them. We will do our best, that's for sure. And before I go, let me run you through the grid for the British Grand Prix tomorrow. Kimi Antonelli on pole, fantastic job from him. And you fancy him to convert that, wouldn't you? Leclerc, great job from him. I think Hamilton will be disappointed to be out qualified by him, given the gap earlier. But yeah, good step forward for him. And hopefully he can continue it in the race. Russell in fourth, he'll be disappointed with that, just not really got the pace, but also probably lucky that he didn't beat it in that instant in Q1. Hajar fifth, out qualifying Verstappen, really impressive. Norris seems to kind of have the legs on Piastri, and good job from Arvid Lindblad to out qualify his teammate, and VCAR very much seem to be the fifth force in F1 at the moment, don't they? So that's a pretty solid job from them. And then you've got Borslethter in 11th, Audi again in 11th. Hopefully they can have a bit of luck to go their way, and they'll get some points tomorrow, with Gasly in 12th. Yeah, I think Alpine, they're probably about 6th fastest here, but you never know. We're about like they can make the points. Colapinto way off though, so he'll be disappointed with that. And then kind of Haas and Williams definitely needing some luck to get into points, similarly paced really. And then Cadillac's out qualifying the Aston Martins pretty comfortably, and yeah, Aston Martin is just miserable at the moment for them, isn't it? They desperately need some of those upgrades. Anyway, guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Follow us on our socials. Link in the description below for daily F1 news, meme, and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.